Good afternoon, members and guests. Here we are, bringing in another live session of Sanskriti meeting in the online world. This, by far, is a big change which we all are still accepting. On a lighter note, it brings down memories, or rather reminds me of the 80s or 90s when we would wait to tune into Doordarshan every Sunday to watch our favorite epics like Bikram and Betal, Ramayan and Mahabharat. I can relate from there to those days to this day where we tune into Zoom once a month to continue our Sanskriti meetings. Our elders have always taught us that nothing can go wrong with strong and positive prayers of faith. Let's ask our member, Miss Vandana Pai, to chant a prayer and sing a bhajan as the world is actually looking at healing right now.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्यो मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 प्रभु जी दया करो मन में आन बसो प्रभु जी तुम बिना लागे सुना तुम बिना लागे सुना खाली जग में प्रेम भरो प्रभु जी दया करो मन में आन बसो तंत्र मंत्र पूजा नहीं जानो मैं तो केवल तुमको ही मानो सारे जग में ढूंढा तुमको अब तो आकर बाह धरो प्रभु जी दया करो मन में आन बसो प्रभु जी प्रभु जी प्रभु जी.
Thank you, Vandana ji, for such a beautiful bhajan. May God bless all of us with good health. The President, Ms. Usha Bhagia, would like to welcome you all.
Good afternoon. Founders, coordinators, guest masters, guests, and the members. Welcome. Today, I just want to announce our member, Bhavna Sangoi, lost her mother-in-law. Bhavna and the Sangoi family, please accept our heartfelt condolence. Ikebana is a Japanese way of arranging flowers. Today, we have three masters, Mrs. Meenakshi Devi, Mrs. Rekha Reddy, and Mrs. Sharda Reddy, who have taken the classes in Japan. Flower is a pure and creative, pure and beautiful creation of nature. It's offered to God and also presented to the near and dear ones. Without flower, no functions, no ceremonies will ever take place. So let's enjoy the floral arrangement by three masters who will mesmerize you all with their magical creations. Ladies, today we thank to the advancement of technology. Because of that, we are well connected in these situations. Had it been in one decade ago, it would not been possible. So let's take the advantage of this and get virtually connected till the situation becomes normal. Now I leave you all to enjoy the creations of these three masters. Thank you very much for your presence. Stay safe.
I'm here to also announce the minutes of the last two meetings, March 2020 and June 2020. But before I do that, I would like to highlight that both meetings were poles apart. March 2020 was when we were together in the same room, physically present. Fast forward 3 months later from March, here we are in an effort to still stay connected via the web world. Needless to say, in changing time, life still goes on. I still say it was an instinctive decision of IPP, Meera Goradia, to conduct the closed door early in first half of March as she wanted maximum attendance by accommodating young mothers of our club who would want to concentrate on their kids' annuals later. Cut to reality 2020, minutes of the closed door meeting March. This was where our founders, Ms. Leelam Kapadia, Ms. Kumud Dharia, Ms. Renu Jeevan, Ms. Kokilaben Kadakia, and Ms. Veena Desai announced retirements from their active duties. This was followed by a fun afternoon with mentalist Kruti Parikh's witty games. Minutes of June 2020. Virtual Zoom meeting where IS officer and collector Ms. Harichandana Dasari was invited as chief guest to install the new committee and welcome the new members into our fold. Also, I have a happy announcement to make.
Has she entered? Program, next program.
Our member, Ms. Zeni Momaya, is beaming with joy as her daughter scored 93% in her ICSE board exams. Congratulations, Zeni. So let's quickly begin the purpose of today's meeting, where we are going to witness Japanese art of floral arrangements, ikebana, which literally means arrangement of living material in water. To demonstrate this beautiful art, we have three beautiful women who are going to show us how to achieve the perfect harmony, beauty, and balance of this art. But members, here is a little thrill or a surprise quotient. Please observe our demonstrators closely. We are going to ask you to do some floral arrangements from whatever is readily available in your houses, and please take pictures, send it to us, the committee, on personal WhatsApp by Monday 4 p.m. We'll select the best of the two and send gifts at your doorstep. The message of this we will again put in bulletin once the demonstration is over. Now our treasurer, Ms. Zeni Momaya, will introduce us to Ms. Meenakshi Devi.
Hello everybody. Oka Meenakshi Devi, first master of Ikebana Masters in Economics from Andhra University. Her love for plants and nature set her on journey to explore the art of Ikebana under the tutelage of Grandmaster Horyu Meena Ananta Narayan, founder of the Ora chapter. Meenakshi Devi was the president of the chapter, and during her tenure, she spread the art of the major towns in Andhra Pradesh, where they conducted classes and also started study circle at Coimbatore. She held a unique exhibition called Kosha, where baskets picked up from all over the world by her were used for arrangements. She is also actively connected to Craft Council of India, where she encourages local crafts. She has conducted many prestigious events like SAAC, Sanskara Festival of Fine Arts, to name a few. She has demonstrated at many cities as well as abroad and participated at World Convention in Japan, Taipei. And so on, the list is endless. It's my privilege to welcome Miss Meenakshi Devi, a lady with talent and art. We welcome you, ma'am.
Treating the lotus leaf to stay like this is very difficult. It's a procedure, we have to do it, With the syringe, I have to pump the leaf, the stalk of the leaf with water, once in 2 hours and with some chemical also, so that it will keep staying like this. And now, another leaf. I am fortunate enough to have a water body in my apartment, terrace garden. So whenever I feel like, when I see nice lotus buds coming in, I do a lotus arrangement. And if you can see, my sari also has got a lotus design. So as per Usha's request, she asked us to wear all floral saris. So I'm wearing a lotus design sari. So in Ikebana, this triangle is very important. You know, whatever we make, any arrangement, this triangle is very important. These three leaves make a triangle. And now to this I add a beautiful lotus flower. It's a double variety lotus with a nice green center. It's the latest variety which has come into market. And to this, we try to show always, you know, all the aspects of lotus plant. That is one full open flower, one bud. Bud is always higher than the leaves. So this is one bud. And if the stalks, to give a support to the stalk. So sometimes these stalks becomes very, you know, soft and they tend to bend. So I'm giving a support to the stalk. And I'll add one, you know, half opened leaf. So it always goes with the bud. This is a half opened leaf which always goes with the bud. If you know, anytime if you get a chance to see a lotus pond, you can notice all these stages of, you know, this leaf. One opened and one fully opened. One flower bud. It is so fascinating to see all the different aspects of the lotus plant. No, sometimes they don't listen to you. So we have to coax them and do some gimmicks. You know, gimmicks like giving the support. Today it is so hot, you know, with that this stalk has become little going this way and that way. Now this is the basic lotus arrangement. And to this I add little water plant, other plants which are going in my pond. It's a grass-like thing, but little white tips it has got. So I'll add this here. So just I'll turn it around and see if, you know, everything is okay. Yeah, I think in front I need to add another leaf. So this is my lotus arrangement. This is the half open leaf, and this is the bud, and this is the full open leaf, and this is little drying up leaf. So all the aspects of the lotus plant, I'm trying to show it here. And this is the fully open lotus, and this is the bud. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. This is my lotus arrangement. This I'm offering to the Almighty and to my Guru. Then we'll go to the next arrangement. With this. So this is an arrangement, we have already made it. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay. This is a dried stick, which I have just put it. And with that, these are the regular garden materials which I have used. Because of this lockdown and all that, we are not getting any, this greenhouse materials. So only this, whatever is available in our gardens, we are using. These are the exoras. With that, I made this arrangement with a dried wood piece. Okay, and this vase is matching so well with the wood piece and the curves and the wood piece and all that. I think it's making a little touch of this white, giving a festive look. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We now know why we are so obsessed with floral arrangements. And you are very pretty. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Can I start my next arrangement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So these are the wild mushrooms, which I found them today when I just went out of my gate. I've seen these wild mushrooms growing on a dead plant, trunk of the tree actually. So I'm just little careful to touch them with, instead of touching them with my bare hands, I'm trying to put these gloves and touch them. Okay, these wild mushrooms, generally we see only the greenhouse mushrooms, but these are wild ones. In the rainy season, we find them. See the beauty of nature, the lines and all that. It's so well, all the beautiful lines and all that you can see. And this is the size of the mushroom, huge big one. And another one is a big one. See, the beautiful mushroom. So immediately as soon as I saw this, I felt like using this mushroom. So I brought it. And this container is a wooden bowl, which I got it from South Africa. So this style of using these mushrooms and vegetables is called morimono arrangement. In Ikebana, we call this morimono. That is, with fruits and vegetables, we do this arrangement. Here, we don't require any water here. Without water, all these materials, we can use and make an arrangement, keep it on a dining table. Okay, and this mushroom, to show the backside of the, this beautiful lines, I'm just placing it this side. I haven't even washed the mud from it, because I'm scared where it will disintegrate. And this has got a beautiful, the maroon color. This is the pineapple family. So I'm just, in this arrangement, we try to use them without water, and all these materials, they last. Without water, they last. That is the beauty of this arrangement. Now, these are the pineapple family. So just to see this, I'll just move this little side. I always enjoy doing something always different. not the same old styles and same old material. So whenever there is possibility, I'll go and search for new materials and try out new styles. Okay, this is a inflorescence of bromeliad. So this color I want to use it here. So I guess the white mushroom, this is very stark and beautiful. Now the contrast is the black container. This contrast is beautiful. Okay, and here we can use the fruits or vegetables. But here I thought, since the mushroom is so dominating, I'll just use a capsicum, red capsicum I use here. So this is my morimono arrangement. And this is the banana leaf. And so this is for the dining table. We can make this type of arrangement with the fruits, flowers, and things like that. So thank you, ladies. This is done.
Thank you, ma'am. Never in our wildest dreams we would have imagined something like mushroom and pineapple together in a decoration. Really fantabulous. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. So now my third arrangement, just I want to show before that. Yeah. If you can see, focus change. This is a monochrome arrangement where I have used only yellow container and the laburnum, Vela flowers branch from a tree. And this is called a running iris. That is also yellow. So only yellow and green.
Yes, Brahma.
Monochrome. One color brings out the beauty of all the materials. It's the seasonal flowers. Now everywhere this laburnum is in bloom. So I thought I'll use this.
एक बार मेरे को भेजाओ, मैं ग्रुप में डालूं। आप मत यही फोटो में।
Now, I want to show you some non-realistic arrangement. Non-realistic means we follow the same rules as we have in Ikebana, but only thing is the materials, we don't use them in a natural way. These are the leaves of, bird of paradise. Can you see how long it is? It's taller than me. So almost 6 feet tall. This is called a spoon petal bird of paradise. These sticks I'm going to use for this arrangement. I like to play around with the materials. Instead of the regular arrangements, I always like to play around. And I want you also, it's like a child's play. You can also do whenever you want to have some fun. So here I'm cut them these. I have cut the long stalks into half. And these are the pin holders. And this is a rectangular vase, oval vase, which is used for linear arrangements. Very randomly, I'm placing these sticks. Here, I'm not adding any water because the shifting is a problem. It becomes very heavy, but you always have to put water in the container before you place your flowers. Because for Ikebana, it's a living flower arrangement. It needs water. So here what I want to show you is, now we are all in such a situation where we are all locked up. Because of this pandemic, Corona, we are all locked up in our apartments. So I just want to show you in the apartments how people are, locked down. So these are all represent the multi-storied buildings in our city, and how the people from the different apartments, how they are peeping out, how they are looking forward to get out of the apartments. These are called heliconias. These are beautiful flowers which are very hardy, and they grow with, if you have water, enough water, they grow beautifully anywhere. Any soil they do well as long as they have water. There are so many different colors and varieties in these heliconias. This is one of the smaller variety, not the big heliconias, but the smaller ones. Usha has given me only half an hour's time, so I'm trying to finish before that. I want to share so many things with you, but the time is limited. Anyway, my colleagues Sharda and Rekha will be showing all the traditional arrangements. So I thought, let me do something different. This is a beautiful creeper, with these flowers. So I use this creeper to show you the lockdown condition. As if, all the apartments with people, everything is Pinsima. These flowers are little wilted. I'll trim them because we don't need the flowers here, just the vine. There, a bird of paradise leaves కొన్ని. So any theme you can take it and show, you can depict it through flowers. Any social themes, like, few months back we have done on the yoga day, we have done yoga bana, showing, yoga styles with flowers. I'm trimming all the leaves just to show the vines. It's a beautiful creeper. And to this I add the same heliconia leaves. Just curl them up. Just curling the leaves. This style is a linear style. We call it a linear style or one row style because they're all flat in one row. We call it one row style. One row style, I'm doing it in a non-realistic way. So here the vines are showing, that people are forced to stay inside in their apartments, and they are peeping out from the apartments. The heliconias represent the people, and these tall ones are our apartment buildings. I hope this made some sense. Thank you, ladies. Shanta. This is done.
Never imagined the lockdown to be like this, ma'am. You've represented it so beautifully. Really very beautifully represented it.
Yeah, I think it made some sense, I think.
Lots of sense, in fact. I'm sure all our audience are, I mean, look at the attendance today. We are 205 already on the Zoom meeting. I mean, people are enjoying from the comfort of home the beauty of flowers, what you're arranging, ma'am. Really beautiful.
Yeah, that's
I have a
nice.
message for you, ma'am. If you know Renu Jeevan Auntie, our founder, she's told me to tell you hi, and she's asked me to remind you that the first picnic was with her, was at your garden at Sarovar.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she's telling you hi. Renu Auntie, are you here? Pranay, if you can just unmute Renu Jeevan Auntie. Pranay?
Hi, Mina.
Hi, how are you? That's what I was telling them. How are you?
Yeah, you are one of our founder
I
members.
was a member when the Sanskriti Club started.
Yes, you are the first one to be in the membership. So how are you, Mina? Nice to see you after a long time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And for this opportunity to meet you all like this,
Yeah.
Nice opportunity.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. So another interesting arrangement, as I told you, I like to play with, containers and with materials always, instead of doing the routine arrangements. So even the youngsters, they'll be inspired to see all these arrangements where you can do different stuff, in the framework of Ikebana, you can try many other arrangements. These are the leaves. The long Australian flex, this is called, like kevda leaves, but without thorns. Now I made a knot and a double knot. Double knot. And like a Siddharthi's turban. So this is one. So another one. When you do this type of arrangements, you have to follow the same pattern. As how you have folded the first leaf, all the other leaves also should follow the same pattern. The only thing is, a little problem is balancing. Balancing these 3 containers. You have to be very careful. These are my 3 lines. So you can see the triangle. Always I look at the triangle, whether, the triangle is formed or not, so that the depths are seen. Here I am adding an extra leaf at the back, so that it gives more depth to the arrangement. And one here. Here I like to do just a leaf arrangement, but if you are not happy with that, if you want more flowers, I can add more flowers also. But I am happy with just leaves. These are the caladium leaves. My garden is now, all the caladiums have come and they are looking so colorful in the garden with the red spots. So this is going with my containers also. The caladium leaves, beautiful red spots. You try to cover the pin holder. When you put the leaf, you just see that, your pin holder is covered.
I'll go and
No, actually, many of them, they have many doubts like, you choose the container first or the material first, you decide, how do you decide your arrangement? But I always see the material and then, decide on my container and the style. But, you can do the other way around also. But, nature, materials, we get only according to their wish. They bloom whenever it suits them, not according to how we want it. That's why I always listen to nature. This is the Mandeville creeper. So actually, I like this arrangement to be like this, but many people likes with flowers. Why I'm showing you these simple arrangements, so that anybody can make at home. The main idea of showing these things is we want all of you to do these arrangements at home, any simple way, whatever you have in your garden. Even the children will get an idea about what garden materials are, because nowadays the children, they don't know what a tamarind tree is. How do you get tamarind? Many of them, they don't know what a neem tree is, and so many things they don't understand. This is the creeper. It's a beautiful creeper. I'm just adding few flowers, which just trim the leaves because it shows the flowers well. I remember when I was, attending Sanskriti meetings, there used to be competitions regularly, like, matching sari, matching everything and everything from top to bottom. How many matchings, they used to count and give us prizes. Like that, even we are doing flower arrangement, we are trying to match with the container, with the flowers, with the leaves and everything. So these I'm taking the shortest ones so that these lines are not disturbed. So I think this should do. So you can see from any side these triangles. The triangles, they make a very interesting. From all the sides you can view it. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Usha Bhagia and other members of Sanskriti. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it to the core, ma'am. Thank you so much. May I ask Vice President Ms. Aarti Shah to introduce Ms. Rekha Reddy to us?
Guru Rekha Reddy, First Master of Ohara Ikebana, President of Ohara Chapter Hyderabad, President of Ikebana International Chapter 250, Chairperson of FICCI Ladies Organization Hyderabad, and the President of the Wednesday Club. She has been invited and given Ikebana demonstration in all the major cities of India and abroad. The list is endless. Received Commendation Award from Japanese Consulate Chennai, passionate about spreading Ikebana, promoting understanding of Japanese culture. She has held solo exhibitions with the themes like Tokunama, Ikebana and Literature, Life of Buddha, inaugurated by the Dalai Lama, From Gloom to Bloom, Life of Lord Krishna, held workshops and exhibitions from children for Children's Day over years with themes like Recycle, Game, Hyderabad, City, Books. Authored many books related to Ikebana and God appreciation. Started a series of online presentations Lokebana, Ikebana for lockdown times. Studied under Grand Master Horu, Meena Anant Narayan and Mother Shamla Vaya Reddy. She has been teaching Ikebana, holding workshops and demonstrating for last 22 years. She is Master MNC in Food and Nutrition from AP Agricultural University. Awarded ICAR Scholarship. 2 gold medals in Master's Program. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Aarti, for the kind introduction. Thank you, Usha and team, for having me over today. Namaskaram to all the viewers. I must first thank my mother, Shamla Reddy, for introducing me to Ikebana, and my teacher, Grandmaster Horu Meena Narayan, for having taught me the intricacies of the art. So we'll start today afternoon. You've seen a beautiful demonstration earlier by Meenakshi Devi. Wonderful material. I'm going to show you the very basic Ikebana style, which will be there are a lot of people who are new to Ikebana, those who are watching. So if somebody new wants to do it also to start Ikebana, some very, very simple, the most basic in the Ohara school. The style we are following is the Ohara school of Ikebana. All schools are beautiful, but I think in Hyderabad we have a passion for the Ohara school, whose headmaster is now Mr. Hiroki Ohara. Anybody learns Ikebana, the first one we do starts with a basic rising form. So I'm using this metal container. I have a pin holder inside to fix it. And underneath I have a little rubber. It's a little tip, little sheet, so the pin holder won't slide. So you can always plan on using that. See, I have a little rubber sheet that I put in. And in this, the material I'm going to use today is continuing from the last arrangement. We have heliconia again. So I'm going to use easy material from the garden, which you'll be able to use. So in a basic rising form, we have a material called a subject and an object. So if my material is a subject, of the 2 or 3 I have, I choose the strongest and the best looking one. This is going to be my subject, it measures approximately twice the width plus twice the height of the container. It's a very rough measurement, 2 plus 2. So anybody wants to try it over the weekend and get a prize from Sanskriti, also you can just try a simple rising form, twice plus twice. And the extra part you snip off, and always the snip is made underwater. Normally, always the last cut underwater so that air bubbles don't go and block the holes. So once you make the snip underwater, then you place it in. Normally, an angular cut, the material lasts better. Now, if this is my subject, I've placed it a little taller than normal, so it just looks very beautiful because it's tall and rising strong. So if this is my subject, you have the leaf in the background. It's very strange to be demonstrating and talking to a television. I don't see people in front of me. It's a little odd. So this is the subject. Any material can be a leaf, a flower, a dry stick, a twig. You have it rising up tall there. The next material we put in is called the object. And the object measures approximately 1/3 of the container. 1, 2, 3, a rough 1/3 of the container. And it's placed in front of it, bending down about 45 degrees. This is the Hemelia flower. We have the heliconia with the leaf. This is a Hemelia flower. I've given it little support so that it stays easy. If this is my object, I'm going to take 2 or 3. If I have 2 or 3, the best looking one is going to be the object. The object comes out right in the front. And I'm going to group the 3 to become the object so that they're more full. I'm putting a little group of 3 so it looks more bright also. This is my object. So once you have the subject and the object in, then I put in my fillers. The next filler is another heliconia, and this is of course shorter. We don't have anything taller than the main subject. So we can have another one maybe looking at it there. It's very natural, like they're growing in the plant. We can even have it facing outside. And when I do that, if the leaf is looking too much at you, I can use it separately. I can remove the leaf and use it separately. We just have another leaf looking up at each other. We have more heliconia. See, we have a scale in a triangle. Anything you see forms a triangle. Any 3 material, this is very important. In Ikebana, everything forms a triangle. They call it heaven, man, and earth. It forms a scalene triangle. There's a lot of Zen philosophy and Buddhist philosophy behind this. That's why it's such a soothing and very calming art form. So if you want to think of this as a very, very simple arrangement, just 3 flowers and the Hemelia will do. You can put in more fillers. You can make it, you can put in 5, you can put in 7. There's no limit. But there is beauty in simplicity also. See, I can add one more. Make it 5. So this is all beauty in the eye of the beholder. Anything is good. I've added only 2 material. So for a basic rising form, your subject is placed twice the width and height of container. Object is 1/3 subject bending forward. Then you put fillers in different heights. All the material lies within a little angle like this, with a little imaginary dome, which is about half the subject on either side. I can add in a little, one more leaf maybe on the side. And if the leaf is too big, coming much beyond the dome, I trim it a little bit. And just trim it a bit. Give it a little twist so it has a little nice fall, and you can have one more on one side. I still feel it's a little too big, a little cut more. give it a little twist so they have a nice little curve, and this comes out on one side. So it is coming within the range of half the subject on either side. So this is the basic, very, very basic rising form arrangement, which should be very easy for anyone to do. And even if you're new to Ikebana, if you use Ikebana, you can use this with the simplest of material, you can use it with the most exotic material. If you don't have flowers, you use only foliage. See, I have a beautiful tall leaf, so this can be my subject. The beauty in that it stays for so many days, and then you just have an object, you have another colored leaf. So it doesn't matter whether you use a flower as the subject or a leaf as the subject, either one is okay. So this is the first one. Coming to the next arrangement. So let me move this aside a bit. Trying to use a variety. That was a metal container, and this is a container. It's like there's cork outside, the tree cork, which is surrounding it, and there's plastic lining inside, so you can use it as a container. In this, how you can use it in a rising form in a flat container, I can do it in a tall container also. Suppose you have tall containers at home, then the same thing, how do you do it in a tall container? In a tall container, we do twice the height. Instead of twice the width, more important, twice the height. See, I'm putting it head down, 1, 2, and a little bit of the width also. So, say about twice the height of the container. So that becomes your subject. The same thing. These are flowers from the garden. We use the simplest of flowers. And along with this, if this is the subject, the object, I'm going to use a little foxtail asparagus. It looks like a fox's tail, isn't it? That's called the foxtail asparagus. And they last really long. So this is my object. It's approximately 1/3 of the subject, bends down 45 degrees. So this becomes my object. Right in front. Once the subject and object are done, then I put fillers. I have another beautiful flower of the heliconia, whichever way it looks good. Maybe this side looks good this time. Let's try this side. If I do this there, I'm going to move it a little bit this side. That is my object. If the flowers are too close, I'm going to cut it at about 1/2 inch more. So the normal procedure, you must remember what normally we do is we put a bowl of water and make the cut underwater. That's the correct way of doing it. So the weather is reasonably good. I'm doing it in a cool room, so I'm not doing that right now, but the best way. Sometimes it's nice when they all look at each other. That's the standard way of doing it. The way these dance in the bushes, they're seen in all directions. So I'm going to use it in this direction too. See, that's one filler. And I have some more lovely asparagus that I'm going to use in between, forming a nice backdrop. Everything should be in different heights. The most important part in Ikebana, put things in different heights and different angles. That's the simplest rising form arrangement in a tall vase. So it will take you just a couple of minutes. So if you start getting patient, it will give you a lot of relief from stress in the lockdown period. So that's why we call it Ikebana, because you will find whatever you have and make use of it. So just 2 and 2. Depending on your eye, you can add so many more things. Initially, what I had was I had a little bit of lily flowers. So I was planning to use this. They're also very beautiful. But when you see it on the computer on the screen far away, it really blends with the background and not that seen that well. So I decided maybe I'll use something else. So you can use these, or you can use them just as fillers in between. See how pretty they look? Just 1 or 2 flowers in between. Or if you don't have flowers at all, you're making them small, and you have just colored leaves. So you can put in colored leaves. There's no end to the number of combinations. It's like cooking. You can cook for 100 years and you can make different dishes every day. You have one basic rice and you can make 1,000 kind of biryanis. So with flower arrangement, it's like that. You can do it in so many ways. So I have some nice green crotons, colorful crotons given by friends. I'm using these. See, just 2 of them. It adds a bit of, a touch of color, isn't it? So you have your subject, you have an object, and then you have this within the range. This is a rising form in a tall vase. And like I said, optional, you can use so many things. I had a little, okay, we have a little flower of almond, so you can put that in the center. So many ways of doing it. Now, suppose you're doing an arrangement for like your dining table, or you want a larger arrangement, and you don't know, you haven't learned Ikebana, you just want something bigger. So you do similar ones in different sizes. So what I've done, I have similar containers. I have similar containers here. So I just put them in a line for it to become something. And I'm doing something like a rising in each one. You have your basics. So do something like a rising in each one of them. And we have asparagus. We have common elements. So it looks much prettier when you have a common element in each of them. And I'm moving this so it connects the arrangement. They don't look separate. This is something like a one-row arrangement of the Ohara school. So these two I place a little closer and one a little far away, but with an equal distance. And if you notice, this becomes just one large arrangement. So you want to do on a dining table only. Coffee table, wherever you want to do it, you can do this, you can do multiples. And you can make it as large as you want, you can make it as small as you want. We never leave one. See, either I remove this whole thing and just keep it, add some more of these. See, another touch of the yellow there. Or maybe we'll do the yellow. Yeah, a small touch at the back. And for color, for the yellow here, maybe small yellow of the yellow almond. Almond is here. And instead of leaving only one, they always like company, isn't it? It feels very lonely when you have only one. So you can have another touch of yellow. So this becomes kind of a one-row form. There. So you have a rising form. You do a small repeat of what we have, and it becomes a one-row form, which is an advanced style of Ikebana. You have a basic Hanaisha, which is a rising form. You can do it in a flat container. You can do it in a tall container. In advanced Hanaisha, we have circular, radial, one-row forms, and this has become something like a one-row form, which we call a Narabu in a long container. The next one I'm going to show you. I'll have to move it out to make space now. It's afternoon time. You've been sitting for very long. I hope everybody's awake. So it's very important to learn the basic lines, because once you have that, you can, you can do so many other styles once you have your basics right. So the next one I'm going to do again in a flat container. Again, I'm basic in a rising form. I'm trying to rub the basic rising form into you, so you'll be able to do it so much easier. So for this, let me see. I have some very lovely banana. This is a ornamental banana. So you have these little bananas here. This was given by a friend. I'd used this in an earlier arrangement in another style called the Bunjan. So if this is going to be my rising form, I can do the rising form on one side. I call it a variation of the rising. Measurement of subject, remember I told you, ladies, it's about, we measure from the base of the head of the flower. It's about twice, 2 plus 2. I'm going to give it a fresh cut at the bottom. So that's going to be my subject. A little taller than normal, but it looks so lovely. And push it in firm. That's a subject. And before I put my object, I need to put another flower. See, this is going to be my second banana flower coming along with it. It's a beautiful pink, isn't it? So lovely, the shades of nature. I have some Legostromia, which is in bloom right now. And this, apart from your subject and object, you have fillers. So when you do a variation, you have some extra fillers over the water space. So when I put this branch, this almost becomes like my object. Is 1/3 the height coming out in front, and this becomes like a filler on the side. So this becomes an object right in the front, and it's lovely. It's matching the color of the banana flower. You get them, the banana flower usually in pink, you get them in orange. This has such a beautiful flowing line, and that goes over the water space like that. So I'm going to trim the other one off. And this becomes a lovely filler over the water space. And you can see the reflection actually in the water. You need to put some more water in it, but once I move it, then I'll do that. That's a filler over the water space. So you have the subject, you have the object, you have a filler over the water space. See the triangle? Anything you do in Ikebana forms the triangle. That's the whole basis of what we do in Ikebana. And along with that, maybe I can put one more filler. Let me put in my banana flower first. And the height is reasonably okay, a little trim. One more flower, and this is little cute little bananas. And I'm going to put the banana leaf at the back. It forms a little on the side, like that. The leaf is taller than this and shorter than that. I think I can shorten it a little more. The beauty of banana leaves is just amazing. And then I have another little leaf, which I'm maybe going to make a little smaller. Beautiful leaf. Banana leaves have such a beauty of their own. So I'm not hiding the flower too much. Along with that, and a smaller leaf with a fresh small one on one side. So you see a little bit of the leaf. And coming to the flowers, you can add in more flowers. So when you see this, you can see one. This is a little bunch behind, but I think we need one more of the Legostromia. So let's add in, just as a connect. We add in another bunch, which becomes the connecting link between the subject area and the object area. So this is your another rising form. It's a variation of the rising form. It's done on one side, and in this we've used the beautiful banana flowers. And I know, to me, it's quite mouth-watering when you see something like this. You know, you get hungry. Or sometimes I think there's such nice meat in the garden, you almost feel like drooling. So this is a simple arrangement. It's in a round vase. So we've seen a rising form. We've seen a rising form, which we converted into a one-row form, which you can use for your dining table. If you want to use it for your dining table, you make it very shorter. So you can speak to each other. So make the whole thing look and make a long one-row conference tables and a drawing room where you have people sitting on either side. You can put some flowers and leaves at the back and make it multi-sided. All these are single-sided arrangements only. So this is the basic tree which I was going to show you. And just another small one. So your president, Usha, is very strict about timing. So we said, let's stick to timing quickly. Just to show you, something like based on a Rimpa style. See, I have these Karonda berries. So we have Karonda berries in this, and we have just some Syngonium leaves, and these are the daylily. So how you can use your food branches. So once you're tired, you can take the Karonda and make nice chutney with them also. So we have something edible with the banana flower and the Karonda. There's a little line. This is like, it's more based on a advanced styles. Once you know your basics, you can always play around with it without having had to do many lessons also. So this is based on a Rimpa style. And I think the Sanskriti and Usha very kindly sent me a pretty little vase yesterday. So I quickly put something together in that vase also. So I'll show you that one too. This is the vase, thanks to Sanskriti. Such a pretty one she sent yesterday. So what I did was I just had some dry twigs, which I put together. Because I wanted to see the vase, some Dracaena leaves, and I had this little, the Aristolochia, which is the Dutchman's pipe. So that comes hanging down from the branch. It's in season now. It has the same shade of darkish pink maroon, so it goes well with your vase. So thank you, Sanskriti, for the vase. I decided I have to start making use of it. These are just dry twigs, because once I got the vase yesterday, I said I must use it. And I took some Dracaena leaves, which are also, again, a dark maroonish red, which go well with the pink. So I'm just going to put a couple of leaves to give a little background. Again, as much as possible in different heights. You can twist the leaf to give it a little bend. A small one behind to go with this. And just showing off the beauty of the lines of the lovely lines of the vase. Just lines of dry twigs. This is a last minute addition because of the vase. And I have some Rangoon creeper or the Quisqualis, which have a lovely, very nice fragrance. And when we were young, we had the house where we were growing up in AC guards. We used to remove the flowers, make a garland out of them. You put one into other and you have a nice garland. So it used to be like, smelling so good. So we have this Rangoon creeper and this one. See, just a touch of color there. Again, pink and pink. So the leaves are actually, even without the leaves, it gives it a nice, just to show you. So it has a few of its own leaves. Just a touch of that. The Rangoon creeper. They don't stay very well when you cut them, but they kind of behave a little bit. We had a nice heavy rain a couple of days ago. That really helped with everything. So just a freestyle arrangement because of the lovely container that you had given me and that I wanted to use along with this. This is just the last one to show you. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being with you and showing you the arrangements. I hope you've enjoyed it and you'll be able to do something very small and simple that you can in your house with whatever material is available. Thank you so much. Thank you, Usha. Thank you, Sanskriti. And to my teacher and mother again for having taught me this wonderful art form.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really, really beautiful. You made it very effortless, and I'm sure all our members are intrigued with it. Usha ji, this is like opening a Pandora's box, of course, with beautiful flowers right from beginning to, I do not know who's the next demonstrator. I'm sure she has something fabulous to show us as well. May I ask our IPP, Ms. Meera Goradia, to introduce our guest, Ms. Sharda Devi, to us?
Hello, everyone. Ms. Priyadarshini Sharda Reddy, born in Warangal, in Telangana state, a home science graduate and blessed with 2 sons. Started learning Ikebana in 1989 under the tutelage of Grandmaster Horyomina Anant Narayan. First Master, Ohara School of Ikebana, Tokyo. She has served as President Ohara School of Ikebana, Hyderabad, and as Vice President Ikebana International Hyderabad Chapter 250. And she was the secretary for the Ikebana International 10th Asian Regional Conference held in November 2007. She has participated in many Ikebana exhibitions in the country, and even she has given many Ikebana demonstrations. She has attended International World Convention in Japan thrice. She has also attended regional conference at Taipei, Manila, etc. Ms. Reddy loves arts and crafts and is a member of Craft Council of Telangana. She has worked as a consultant for interior decoration and gardening to NICET, a central government organization, and worked as consultant to the urban forestry of GHMC and South Central Railway. Professionally, Ms. Priyadarshini is a partner in Tasha Event Artisans. So here comes multifaceted Ms. Priyadarshini Sharda Reddy. Welcome, ma'am.
Namaskar. A very good evening to the Sanskriti Club members, Ikebana enthusiasts, the friends and the family who have joined today for this demonstration. I thank Usha Bhagia, the president of Sanskriti, and also the committee for giving me this wonderful opportunity. So the members have already seen demonstrations by senior masters, my seniors, that is Meenakshi Garu and Rekha. And as to what I've seen, Meenakshi Garu has emphasized in freestyle arrangements, and Rekha has given you the basics of Ikebana. Because I think the viewers today are not all Ikebana students. So my emphasis today is going to be that at your homes, each one of you should be able to do one or two arrangements that I'm showing today. Usually in Ikebana, we use pin holders, which are called kensans in Japan. Or here nowadays in flower decoration, we use floral sponge that is called oasis. So I'll show you some other different ways of how to do floral arrangement at home with the material that is available in your garden or in the pots for members who have only flats, sustained flats. I'm also using the locally available materials because of Corona. So I start my today's arrangement with praying to Lord Buddha, because Ikebana originated in Japan in 6th century BC. And the first Ikebana arrangements were given as floral offerings to Lord Buddha. So here I start with a landscape arrangement. This is my landscape arrangement, and in which I have used water lily. Meenakshi Garu has used lotus arrangement. I have done landscape arrangement using water lily and papyrus and a reed. This tiny things that you see here is a reed. So this is the composition of a landscape arrangement. Now, how can you do this at your residences, at your homes? So I start my first demo by doing a very, very simple landscape arrangement, which you can comfortably do at your residences. So I'm using the material and container also, what is available with us. I think all of you know what this is called. Okay, we call it in Telugu, we call it tambalam. In Hindi, we call it parat. So we used to, in the olden age, our parents, our mothers and grandmothers used to knead dough in this. So I'm using this as my container. So that means each one of you have this at home. Now, what are the materials? So the water lily arrangement, the same material, a little delicate material, a little delicate than this one, but this container is very big. So here, as Rekha has already mentioned, in Ikebana, proportion is very important. So I take almost once the container measurement. And this material is called papyrus, very easily grown in our own gardens. You can grow it in a pot in little water, having little water in it. So this becomes an upright style. So how do I place this material? I place this material in a cluster. Okay, so why in a cluster? Because it grows naturally like that. In nature, it grows like that. At present, I'm using a pin holder here, which I said is called Kensan. I'm using a pin holder. And how am I placing my material? The material is being placed in different lengths and different heights. I'm doing high and low. You have to go back. I'm using high and low and front and back lines. What happens when I use front and back lines and use high and low? It gives depth to the arrangement and it makes it appear, it makes it as if the natural It's like a natural pond that you see in the garden. So what does it mean? I'm giving it an appearance of growth in a vase, in a container. So this is my papyrus. So what have I done? I have created a bush with papyrus. Now my second material that I'm going to use is, I don't know the name of this material. We find this in our gardens, in a water lily ponds at our residences. So I've taken a cluster of this material. So you don't have to take individual leaves. It's very easy. If you take a cluster, instead of, so that again, it looks very, very natural. And try to arrange it. Then one more material of this is making it flow over the water space. Okay, let me try. I think this angle, this is better, but it is not standing. So let me try to put it here along with this, or I can make it go backwards and give it the support of the vase here. I think this gives more depth and this looks nice for me. So this is better. Okay. Now the other material that I'm going to use, the last material that I'm going to use, of course, is the water lily. Because I said it is a water lily arrangement. So I'm using water lily leaves, and these have to be very low. They can be floating in water. And usually we use odd numbers. We use odd numbers. At the same time, we also use leaves which are big, medium, and small. Again, the reason being to give it a natural appearance. Because in nature, everything is not the same. It doesn't grow the same. No two fingers of ours are the same. Yeah, so we try to place it in between it's here. Now, this is a very, very simple landscape arrangement, but in Ikebana, one more important thing is that the pin holder should not be visible, okay? So if the pin holder should not be visible, what do I do at home? I'm not an Ikebana artist who practices Ikebana. So what I have got here is some pebbles from my garden. So what I do, I just arrange them a little here to make it look more natural, and also it helps me, it hides the pin holder. So I have collected these whenever we go to a river bed, when we go, like, you know, it was, I think, the Godavari Pushkaram, and at the same time, some of these are from Kulu Manali, from the river base there, we had been there. So these stones are collected there. So to give it a natural appearance, I use these. It also helps me hide the pin holder. So, can you zoom back, please? Yeah. So can you see this arrangement, ladies? So I have completed my first arrangement, and this is called, as Meenakshi Karu has said, it's called Mizu Mono arrangement. That means it's a water arrangement, and you can do this during festival times, right in front of your house at the entrance, or you can have a goddess Lakshmi or Saraswati with a deity, and then in one corner you can place this arrangement. It is very, very auspicious. Thank you. Now I'll go to my second arrangement. My second arrangement, yeah, as you can see here, it's a very, very basic arrangement. Top angle yeah, it's a very, very basic arrangement. It is called a Mawaru in Japanese. In simple English language, we say it's a circular form of arrangement. What do you mean by circular form of arrangement? Any round container or multiple containers at home that you have, you can use them, and you can do this arrangement. So what are the important, it's a very simple arrangement, though it looks very complicated. It's a very simple arrangement. Here I have used a contrasting colors, very Indian contrasting colors of yellow and red with a base of green. A very important thing in this arrangement is the base has to be green. The base has to be green. So what we do, we have pin holders. It's a round big vase, as you can see, ceramic vase, and I have pin holders around. I have put 3 pin holders, and I'm connecting, I'm using this fern. The materials that I've used is a fern. So I'm using the fern, 2 layers of fern, and then fern here, and then fern here. So if I put a base and make a circle, that is my one circle. Then with that, I have used red exoras facing in one direction. All the material is in one direction, facing one direction, but in 3 concentric circles. One circle becomes the red, the green base circle. The second is the red circle. The third, as you can see, is the yellow circle. And the connecting links here I have used Resina Gottseffiana, which has got tiny little yellow spots. So the color combination is very important. Here I am playing with very Indian traditional colors of yellow and red. And this particular arrangement is circular arrangement. It is done in a ceramic round pot. Now let us do the same arrangement in a very simple way, how you can do at your residences in other containers. So here I am using 3 mats. These are my table mats at my house. I've got these mats. I put them in this way. And these are 3, the same arrangement, circular arrangement, can also be done in multiple vases. But the number has to be odd, 3, 5, depending on how much of space that you're going to, what is the area and where are you going to do the arrangement. So where are these arrangements suitable? You have guests coming home suddenly, you want to do something for the center teapoys, and you can do this arrangement in the center teapoys. Also, if you have a round table where you have the Lucy Susan, you can do it there also. So that the arrangement is there and your dishes are spread all around it. I'll tell you the advantage of doing this arrangement in multiple vases. So here, since I have used the contrasting colors here I'm going to use very subtle colors. And again, these are also garden material. So what is the what are the 3 materials here I'm using? Again, I'm using Exora here as my main material, and the base becomes my fern here again. Now, one more very important thing. I have not used pin holders in this. This is an asparagus plant. I have rolled asparagus and I have rolled asparagus and put it in here. So this is what I'm using as my pin holder. The reason I'm showing you this is anybody can do this at your own residences without having pin holders. Zoom back. So now, as I told you, the first base that I'm using is the fern. So it has to be in one circle. So one long fern, one short fern, and again a long fern and a short fern. This time here I've taken it in, so I've taken the short fern out here. And again a long fern and a short fern. So, but the material that now, when you count at it, I have used six number of ferns. So, since we have to an odd number, I have the play of using one more fern, which I have to see where it looks nice. I mean, which place does it look nice? So, I think I'll use a small, very tiny fern, little facing this side to give the circular movement here. Now, coming to my main material, as Rekha was saying, we have something called subject, object, and secondary. So, this is my subject material. Exora is my main material here. I'm just pushing it in. It's so simple. But one thing is I have pruned it because the pruning takes a lot of time. So I have removed a lot of leaves because I'm already having a green base. So I have removed leaves. The same way, in the same direction, I'm going on placing the Exoras. So as of now, we have used 3 Exoras. And remember that one should be tall, one should be of medium length. I mean, one should be longer, one should be of medium length, and one should be slightly shorter. That's how you give rhythm. In Ikebana, rhythm, depth, they play a very important role. She should give me one. Yeah. So here I'm taking this in the outer circle here, or I can take it here also in the outer circle here. Actually, this can be a little lower. I'm doing it a little taller so that it's visible to all of you. Little taller, that is can be slightly lower too. So this is my second circle. Now coming to my third circle, the third material, I'm using begonias. The reason I'm using this is color combination. My vases have got silver fringe. So I have chosen this to give it This is very short at the mouth of the base to give the complete look. Let's see, one more I need. So since the flower and the material is heavier, I use a smaller stem here. Here, this is very little less material here. So I'm using a bigger begonia leaf here. This is called begonia. I'm using a bigger. Now, this is my third circle. Now, I'm completing this arrangement by using the connecting link of Legistromia. This is there in all the medians in Hyderabad. It grows a shrub as well as a tree. So I like the lines of it, and it gives me the connecting link, because otherwise all three vases are looking like three different units. So this is providing me the connecting link. I can also use it clockwise or anti-clockwise. You just have to push it in, and it's really staying pretty well in the containers because of the asparagus, which is like a mesh, which has become like a mesh. So after putting this, I'm changing this direction of this begonia because it is not visible. I'll cut this a little because it's the same length as Exora otherwise. Yeah, this is very pretty. And here, there are pods here and here. So I'll add one little pod in this, one little pod in this, and I can, this is a circular form arrangement. After doing the arrangement, if I wish, I can turn it a little far or close. I can turn it a little closer, or I can move one little farther. I can give it an uneven, two closer and one farther. I think this looks nice. So this is my Mavaru, the same arrangement which I have done there. There are two things to remember here. One, I have given you a contrasting color combination there. Here I have given a subtle color combination. So that means color combination plays a very important role, that one. Second thing is, it can be done in one single container or it can be done in multiple containers. Now at your own residences, instead of these vases, these vases, you can also use mugs. You can use multiple mugs, 3 mugs, 5 mugs. You can use wine glasses to do this arrangement. It's a very delicate arrangement, and when done in wine glasses, you need very little material. And in mugs too, you use very little material. So I hope it is, maybe some of you will try this arrangement. And one more thing I want to show here is the same arrangement can be changed into another arrangement. This is called a circular arrangement. It can be changed into one more arrangement called the linear. What is meant by linear? Something that you do in lines, in a line format. This is circular format, something you do in a line format. So just observe what I do here. So what I am doing is I'm placing my mats in a line, but not in a straight line. Little front and back. So one little front, little back, one very back. Now I place these vases here. I'll interchange the positions. I like this. This is very heavy. So I'm placing this in the center here. And I place this here. So again, this was little front. This is back. This is, so this here, that the material is one line, this is one line, this is second line, this third line. So all the material is in a line format. So this is called a linear arrangement. This is one more style in Ikebana. So the Mavaru, when you do a circular arrangement, multiple vases, the next day you have a party today and again tomorrow, you don't have to do another arrangement. You can happily change in a center table, dining table, like a linear arrangement. So I hope you like this arrangement. Now I move on to a display arrangement from here. Yes. So I move on to a display arrangement here. This is a freestyle, non-realistic arrangement. Yeah, can you see the arrangement? Sorry for the, we wanted to give a little play and not standing at one place and doing the arrangement. So yeah, we're adjusting the camera. So this is a freestyle arrangement. So again, the color combination, as you see here, plays an important role. Little backwards, still backward. I need to stop to be visible. So I think I better, yeah, this is better. Yeah. So this is a ceramic vase. I love the color of this vase, and it is a circular. It's a circle vase at the base. The format is circular, not a square or rectangle. So I have used. I like the color of the adeniums. I thought with the white and the red, it is going very well. The pink and the white are going very well. The line was beautiful. The adenium line in my pot was beautiful. So I pruned it a little, and this is one bunch and another bunch of the material here. Very simple. It just happened in 2 minutes. I had this creepers which I pruned after summer. Rainy season started. I had to prune a creeper. I had grown. It was overcrowding my AC, so I had to remove it. So I found these creepers. I have not tied them. I have not put any wire. I have just inserted them into the mouth of this, and they're balancing on its own by just interlocking. I have just interlocked them one inside the other. Can you see here? And there's no wire. There's no rubber band. There is no stain. Nothing. This is one creeper. This is another creeper. The stem of another creeper. So you can call them vines. And this is 2 adeniums from my garden. And here, this is a kind of Weiss spathiphyllum leaf. The Weiss spathiphyllum leaf, it is sitting very well in the mouth of the vase at the angle that I want. And it is breaking the monotony of the red and the white and giving the good green feel. And this is spathiphyllum, one single pod. I like the curve of this. It's going like this, and this is coming like this. So this is a freestyle, non-realistic arrangement, which didn't take much time. So in any container, a crystal vase or any vase, there is no pin holder, there are no spaces, no S's, nothing. Because the mouth of the vase is a little narrow, I could fix it properly into the vase here. I hope you like this arrangement too. Thank you. Now I come back to my last arrangement, third arrangement. Yes. I come back to my third arrangement. So this arrangement, I think all of you must be very tired, and you must be getting, jittery. You must be feeling restless, seeing 3 of us in a row, concentrating, and with little of hiccups of the, your technical hiccups. So now, finally, I'm off. I think all of you can relax and have a cup of tea at your residences, because I'm doing a very, very simple arrangement. Now I have shown you arrangements where we can do on the dining table, or first of all in a drawing room in a teapot, then second in the dining table at your residences. So third one, in the evening time, what do? We need to relax and have a nice cup of tea. So I'm showing you an arrangement which is called Chabana. It is called a tea ceremony arrangement. Any of you who have visited Japan or know history of Japan, the tea ceremony arrangements play a very important role in the lives of Japanese people. It is like meditation or prayer to them when they do a tea ceremony arrangement. So what they do is they kneel down. I'm sorry, the reason I put a mat, they have a mat, they have a place in the drawing room called tokonoma. Tokonoma is a depression. It's a small depression in the drawing room. Where they have a place, where they place a mat. It's like a prayer room or meditation room. They place a mat. They kneel down there. The family members or 1 or 2 people or a guest, the host and the guest, they kneel down there, and they have beautiful. Japanese are well known for the tea sets, different kinds of tea sets. So they place the tea there, and then they do a simple arrangement in basket. Usually it is done in a simple basket or a bamboo vase. So here what I have, this is a very, very simple arrangement. We can use Indian baskets also. It is not a must to use Japanese baskets, but this is yes, definitely is a Japanese basket. I put a plastic container inside as my thing, and this is a ground orchid grown in my house. I had only 2 flowers, and I felt very bad to cut it, but the color combination I thought is going very well with the lotus screen behind here. So what do? I have placed this. I have inserted it for beginners like members who are viewing this. I did place a small pin holder inside. So it is easier with a pin holder. You cannot do without the pin holder. Otherwise, when we senior masters do is we don't use a pin holder. We put stays, bamboo stays. It is very difficult for you all to do. So what have I done now? I have just pierced it, not exactly in the center, in the pin holder, but little sideways, so that it doesn't look straight at us. Yeah, my pin holder has moved a little sideways. So yeah. Then my second flower, this flower is a little tall. Second flower is just coming out a little here at the base. And then the same material, the same ground orchid leaves, I've cut a bunch from my garden so that I don't have to place individually. and again at an incline. Remember, nothing goes straight down. You always keep in Ikebana, you give it a natural appearance of growth. So what do? We put it in an inclined format. We never put anything straight. So I think this looks nice. Is here? Is better? Sorry, this is like break here. So yeah, I think this is better. Okay. So this is again the material is put to one side, leaving some open space, breathing space on the left side. So this is the Shabana arrangement, and I try to do the same arrangement. So hardly it takes 5 to 10 minutes for somebody is coming for tea in the evening. You can take a tall container. You can take a vase also, simple vase, any ceramic vase or any basket or any. You can use a small bamboo vase also, bamboo, this much of bamboo, and you can do this arrangement. Now let me show you a bigger version of this arrangement. So the same arrangement, I try to do a Chabana arrangement. I won't call it a bunjin. Usually we do these arrangements, these big arrangements that are done in these baskets, we refer to as bunjin. But this arrangement I have done like Chabana because I've used very limited material, and the material being a banana flower here, orange banana flower. As you see, the basket again has a handle. So I have used an orange banana flower here and a second flower here. And this is the temple tree, the plumeria that grows in a garden. And 2 reasons: to cover the mouth of the vase, also to give a contrast of color. I have used 2 broad leaves here. I am sorry, I do not know the name of these leaves, but I picked it from Shashi's garden. And I like the color, the subtleness in that. They're not too bold. And to give little depth and to give a little character, different character, I have used the Agistomia pods, heavy pods. I found this on the road and I really loved them. So they are from the, and to give depth, I have used 1 pod here at the back and 1 in the front. So this is not a bunjin arrangement. It's very simple kind of Shabana arrangement. When you don't want to do in a bigger, if you have a bigger basket, you can still try this arrangement at home. Same way, in this I put a plastic container inside, I fill with water. And because its branches are very thick, I started with the main material first as I did the arrangement here. So automatically each one fell into the groove. So when the mouth is only this much of the vase, I try to balance with the material itself. Even in this, I have not put stays. I have put the material, I've cut to the length which I want, and I have put the material directly into the container. There are absolutely no stays and it's staying perfectly well. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before I end, I would like to say that Ikebana, when I started learning Ikebana and learning Ikebana for all these years, it has become a way of life. Not only for me, I know for all my colleagues and friends. How does it help us in life? Apart from doing these arrangements, getting pleasure for them, it has taught us patience, a lot of patience. It's a form of meditation. It is therapeutic. And it helps us to overcome any challenges in our personal lives. I'm really so happy and thankful to God, to my teacher, Huri Vinant Narayan, to my today's guru and mentor now, Mrs. Meenakshi Devi, and for my flexibility to Usha, who's my yoga guru. And thank her for giving me this opportunity, and thanks the committee of the Sanskriti Club and all the members of Sanskriti Club for this wonderful opportunity. It was very nice interacting with all of you. And please, all of you, enjoy a cup of tea. And I would like to introduce Shashi. Shashi, please come here. Shashi. I think now after this all hard work, we'll enjoy a cup of tea. Both of us will enjoy a cup of tea. Not both of us, actually. Meenakshi Garu, please come here. Meenakshi Garu, please. Yeah, please come here. Sharda. Yeah, Sharda. And Sharda Aluri. So, Meenakshi Garu, Shashi, Sharda Aluri, and myself, I think. Thankful to her for giving me this place. I had some problem at my residence. So I have done it at her house, but in a different location. And Shashi, who's assisted me, all guidance has come from Meenakshi Garu. Shashi and Sharda, who helped me today to do the setup, the idea and everything. Thank you so much, everybody. And I think now...
So let us have tea.
Tea, yeah, Shashi and Sharda here. Come.
Cheers.
Yeah, yes.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Usha. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm short of words. Splendid, beautiful, marvelous. I mean, I'm really falling short of words. Right from Meenakshi ma'am to Rekha ma'am to you, all of you all were fantabulous. Thank you so much. I think it's a pleasant beauty to the eyes after 3 months of lockdown where we've not seen such beautiful flowers and such beautiful arrangements.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on, members, we have tried our best to replicate physical meetings in the virtual ones too. We have been watching you all, of course the members who put their camera on, to judge Lady Sanskruti. Our co-op, Ms. Akita Malhotra, will announce the same.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's Lady Sanskruti is chosen for the best floral attire. It goes to Mrs. Avni Cheda. Congratulations, ma'am.
Congratulations, Avni. You will receive the voucher very soon. Also, we come to the end of a beautiful session. The chat room will be open for our members if they want to discuss anything. Our next meeting will be on 11th August. Please make a note, members. We have our next meeting on 11th August. Our Joint Secretary, Ms. Rama Patwa, would like to give vote of thanks. With this, I take my leave. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Over to you, Rama.
Good afternoon, friends. It's my pleasure to present vote of thanks. I must say, flowers not only make our life beautiful, but they also make us feel joyful. Indeed, what lovely presentations we had today. As we come to the end of the beautiful sessions, I would like to extend my warm thanks to our esteemed guests, Ms. Meenakshi Devi ji, Ms. Rekha Reddy ji, and last but not the least, Ms. Sharda Reddy ji. वाकई में आप तीनों ने मिलकर हम सबके दिल को बाग-बाग कर दिया. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, dear members. You always support us unconditionally. For carrying out this virtual meeting successfully, I thank to Pranay Rupani. A humble request to all of you, if it is really not necessary, please don't move out of the house. Stay home, stay safe, and please do take good care of your health. Thank you so much.